Virat Kohli won the toss and put Delhi into bat, and at the halfway mark, you'll be looking at that score and really doubting his decision because Delhi, well, they really launched themselves into orbit, getting really close to 200 there, 196 for 4 in 20 overs. Bear in mind that they're playing this game in Dubai. This has not been played in Sharjah. Bear in mind that their captain and the hero from their Sharjah game the other night against Kolkata, Shreyas Iyer, didn't get many, but you had Marcus Stoinis, Rishabh Pant with a few blows, and of course Prithvi Shaw right at the top. So 196. There was a time though where it looked like Bangalore would pull it back, but then Marcus Stoinis came to the crease, and well, he put paid to those plans. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You're watching My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I have with me Michael Vaughan and Shaun Pollock. Michael, well, Delhi will be happy with that. Yeah, fair to say.
Yeah, I think they'll be delighted. I mean, you don't generally kind of get yourself to thinking about a par score in T20 because you're not too sure. You want to try to just keep going for it. But I'd say that Ricky Ponting would have been delighted with anything around 175, 180. Stoinis is one of those kind of players I've seen a lot of in Australia. I've seen him play against England on a number of occasions, and he's never quite done it. He's never quite got to the level that you think he can do. He does it in the Big Bash against, I'll be honest, some poor bowling at times, and then all of a sudden, I've just seen him play. That's his best innings I've seen him play. You know, usually against spin, he's a little bit circumspect. He was very decisive. I don't know what Ricky Ponting said in that little timeout, but he was prodding him in the chest, giving him a lesson or two, go and strike it. You got big muscles, try and clear the ropes. It was a masterclass in striking. He played a couple of nice finesse shots as well. And Rishabh Pant, we spoke about how mature Rishabh has become in this tournament. Well, he played the kind of the second string to that partnership by just knocking it around and making sure Stoinis got back on strike. That for me is a lesson that actually Rishabh is maturing as a player. That, you know, when you're in that kind of partnership, you sometimes just got to understand that your partner's hitting it that little bit better than you are at that time. You just got to give him the strike, and that's exactly what Rishabh Pant did.
Yeah, he was 14 or 15, and then even he decided to up the gear a little bit. And then when you've got Polly, when you've got Pant going at one side and Stoinis at the other, as a bowler, you want to be back in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's challenging. Left-hand or right-hander combination. You saw the bowlers get a little bit frustrated. They thought they'd slide a few little beamers in there just to keep them on. But yeah, it's never easy. And yeah, Delhi did really well at the back end there. As you say, they lost their way in the middle. It looked like they were going to maybe post like 180. But I think that partnership in particular has got them to a really competitive score. We've seen a couple near this kind of total on this ground. And with the batting ability of RCB, you never know. But I'd much prefer to be the bowling side with that 190 odd and under my belt.
Yeah, we talking about the power play. Prithvi Shaw was going absolutely hell for leather during the power play. Bear in mind that this power play has come when on the other side, Washington Sundar's bowled 3 of these for not many, perhaps a dozen, and the other 3 have gone for this. And that's the period we're talking about, 7 to 13. 39 runs, 3 wickets lost, 3 big wickets lost. And I guess that was also the time that Rishabh Pant and Marcus Stoinis were sort of just getting their act together. Boy, that's Michael, we spoke about this at the halftime in the Cricbuzz Combox, that if they can set this up, they really can launch. Well, that's a good launch. That's a launch that NASA's clapping at.
They'd probably want a little bit more in that period from 7 to 13, but it's the perfect T20 innings. You go at the start and you have a little bit of a period where you just knock it around, and all of a sudden you explode at the end. And you need skill to be able to do that. And both that pair provided. Left hand, right hand, never easy to defend against in the field, particularly 2 players that are so powerful. Virat will look back. I'm sure he'll be questioning 1 or 2 of his bowlers, the way that they bowl. But I just think in this era of the game, if a player like Stoinis gets going, and you've got Rishabh Pant there, it's so difficult to keep them quiet. It's so difficult to stop the boundaries. They ran between the wickets well, played a few nice deflections. So it's always tricky as a captain to kind of protect all the areas of the ground. But they'll be delighted with that score. That for me looks like a big total on this venue. And with all the bowling options that Delhi have and the way that they've been kind of delivering their options in the field, they'll be very confident of defending this.
I'll tell you where Bangalore would have been excited, where they thought they had a whiff. It was post the power play. They got Prithvi Shaw very soon. They got Shikhar Dhawan, which meant that there was a new Shreyas Iyer and a fresh Rishabh Pant. It looked like Shreyas took on that long boundary, and Polly, what a catch by Devdutt Padikkal there. Those are the kind of moments of inspiration where you go, oh, it's swinging, it's turning. We're going to pull these guys in.
Do we even get excited about those catches anymore? It just seems commonplace, doesn't it? The standards have been lifted.
Seems like boring like Monday morning, doesn't it? It was just...
but it was a good fight back. Washington Sundar, how good has he been for the RCB? And I think he's been the one guy who's benefited from this tournament moving to Abu Dhabi, Dubai. That ground in Bangalore is just so small that even a mishit will carry. Where he's now with the bigger boundary, he's just got that confidence, hasn't he, that he can get involved in the mix. And I think he's really benefiting, and he's been absolutely superb. I mean, his run rate that he's going for at those times and picking up the odd wicket and bringing the team back into the mix has been superb. So, yeah, he was really good.
4 overs, 20 runs. That's what he gave Washington Sundar. There you go. And expensive was Saini. Just surprised a little, Michael, that didn't bring Chahal back for a 4th. Because everybody was bleeding.
Yeah, I think you've got to give Delhi a huge amount of respect. The fact that Chahal bowled that over in the power play and they hit him for 18. So what Delhi did, they went after the trump card of the RCB. The main bowler, particularly in those middle overs.
But he's bowled his next 2 for just 11. He's bowled his next 2 for just 11, and then he doesn't get a 4th. It just baffles me a bit.
Yeah, that's why, I think Virat will be in the dressing room, hopefully now thinking about his batting, but at the end of the game, he may just go back on a couple of his decisions he made as a captain. When your trump card only ends up bowling 3, he'll be, probably questioning that at the end, but you make instinctive decisions as a captain out in the middle, what you feel's right. He'll know that his powerhouse for the batting lineup have got one hell of a chase. It'll come down to a great start. Finch will have to come out of the traps. Padikkal's been in great form. And then I would think if we get anywhere close, it may be down to that incredible partnership. One of them, if not both, are going to have to play a similar style of innings to what we've just seen from Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah, Padikkal's got a bit of a serious exam, doesn't he, Polly, with the 2 South African quicks coming at him?
Yeah, he's passed with A+ so far, but I'm sure they will have a few different plans for him. I think this surface might be all right for him. I think it's coming on nicely. He's one kind of guy who can stand and deliver, and he can just hit the ball at the top of the bounce. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets on all right. He might have to score a few more through the offside. I think the planning will be to try and get him to play through that area and see if he can take it away from the strength. But I also think it's a surface that'll suit Finch. It almost gives you the feel that it's more of an Australian kind of pitch, which coming on and with those guys with the extra pace, you might find it really brings him into his own. So I would expect a decent start from there. They would want a brilliant power play just to settle things down, and then they can take it from there. But a good first 6 overs is going to be important.
That's what I'll do for our My 11 Circle Badge of Honor, because our guesses just went flying out of the window, a bit like some of those 6s, because we were in the late 170, early mid 180s kind of range, and Delhi's ended the 196. So let's just play it again for the second innings, gentlemen. The power play score prediction.
Go on, Polly, you go first.
Okay, 6 overs, I'm reckoning I'm going for 52.
52? Low balling it.
No, 52 is good.
52 is good? You're happy with 52?
Isn't it?
Wani, what about you?
I'm going high. I'm going Finch out the traps. I'm going 59.
59. Well, I just got the 60.
What did they get? They got 61, didn't they?
They got 61, yes. All right, then I'll lowball it even more just to be safe that somebody gets it. I'll go with 47.
Okay.
I'll go with 47. I think, but what is important is that you want the openers to be there after the power play, or when the power play is there. If they can keep it to maybe just losing 1 wicket and you've got Virat Kohli down the middle, because you don't want to be in a place where the power play is done, you've lost 2 wickets and you've got Virat and AB fresh on the crease. Now, no, the more they play, the better they are, but I don't think you want them in that early, do you, Vaughan?
No, I mean, but when you're chasing this kind of total, it makes it quite clear as a batting unit, you've got to get at least a boundary and over. So your mindset can actually be freed up when you're chasing a higher total than when you're chasing something like 160, where you have to kind of navigate yourself around a few overs. When you're chasing this target, you pretty much know that you've got to be very strong in your mindset. You've got to be very dominant, looking for those boundaries, run between the wickets hard. I think we're in for a nipper. I'm going to predict now, I think we're in for a close one.
No, I mean, look at Bangalore. Bangalore's got the batting. Bangalore's got the batting. When you look at that, you've got Padikkal Finch, you've got Virat, AB, you've got Moeen Ali, who's also been brought into the team. Well, he's a great bat. The Shivam Dubey, Washington, Sunda. Polly, we've typed it like you say, Sunda. Drop the R.
I like the mix of that middle order there. I think it looks a bit stronger than what they've had so far in the tournament, and they've got some hitting ability. So I like the way things stand. If they do have a good power play, if those two trump players in the middle get going, and you've got the guys to come and whack it at the back end, I think they're going to be close. I think it is going to be a close one. I think Vaughan is right on that prediction.
Virat likes Delhi. And by that, I don't mean it's the city where he grew up. I mean, he likes playing against the Delhi team, and he's got the numbers there you go to prove it. So he quite enjoys playing against Delhi. Most runs against an opponent is actually right up there, an average of 63. But Wani, they take 63 from him today. Yeah, Bangalore.
Yeah, they were. I'm looking forward to that battle with Ashwin. Virat Kohli against Ravi Ashwin. I just get a sense they've had a little bit of a confrontation or two in the past. Maybe they've not always seen eye to eye. I'm looking forward to that contest.
Strong characters, both. No dismissal yet. Delhi is saying, well, we want to change that today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I won't be surprised, actually, if Ashwin bowls in the power play. The only thing that may stop them is the fact that Finch likes hitting off spin. You generally want to try and take the ball away from Aaron Finch with either a leg spinner or a left arm spinner, but such a skillful bowler, particularly to the youngster, Padikkal, it might be something that they look at and throw it wide of off stump, try and get him hitting through the offside. I'll be interested what tactics they come up with in the first 6.
We've seen Akshar bowl in the power play. Akshar's doing that. But, Polly, you don't also want to get too innovative and too cute, right? You've got 2 quakes. Surface is giving you perhaps a little bit. You want to just throw the ball into their hands and at least get 3 overs out of them before you try to innovate.
Yeah, it's been a strength of them. They like to mix it up 1-1-1-1 and then finish the 6 overs. I think if you play the 2 spinners, is with regards to Aksa and Mishra, then maybe they might have gone to one of those. But I think the only option will be to go to Ashwin if they do decide to go. I don't think Aksa will bowl in those first 6.
Well, it is. It's going to be a good one. It is. I can tell you. I can see the future and tell you it will be a good one. I can't see the future and tell you who's going to be getting a My 11 Circle badge of honor. That's the tough one. That's very difficult to predict. But we will see who gets it at the end of these 20 overs and who gets these 2 points and goes straight to the top of the table, because Mumbai is looking at this game going, we're only top of the table for another hour and a half. One of these 2 teams is going to dethrone them now. I mean, not even at the halfway stage, so I don't think any of the teams is too worried. So we're going to see you at the end of the game. Big thank you to Shaun, Pollock and Michael Vaughan. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We're going to see you at the end of 10 on Cricbuzz Combox. Thanks for watching.